Greetings. I'm listening.
Good to meet you.
I've been expecting you.
For the good.
You come get the voodoo.
Hey there. And you are?
Light be with you.
You come to consult the spirits?
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Shiny. Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Sail here. Me buy and trade. What?
Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love World of Warcraft and love making many alts. Today is Sunday, May 31st, and this is episode 665 entitled No BlizzCon 2020. I'm Aprillian, your host, and with me is my awesome co-host. Hi, Constructs. How are you?
I'm feeling fantastic. I just had a quick shower before the show. I'm cooking some ribs. Looks like dinner is going to be amazing.
Awesome.
I'm sorry to hear about some of the stuff that's going on in the States. I feel terrible for just the emotional hurdles that some of us will never get to appreciate, like all the good things, the good people that are down there. Like,
right. And it is horrendous. It's good on some levels because, you know, we need people's eyes opening, but at the same time it's a scary and terrifying time. Hopefully in the end something good will come out of all of this, and that's all I can say from this, you know. Yeah, it hits very close to home to me on so many levels, and I just can't imagine right now if you had a son of a certain color and had to worry about him, you know. It's very scary. I'm scared sometimes, but yeah. And it shouldn't be this way. This is 2020. We thought things would be better. But my heart goes out to everybody involved in this situation. Everyone.
somebody real famous 2,000 years ago said it best, you know, love your neighbor as yourself.
And I can't understand why that.
Right,
yes, that says it right there, and it just does not seem to compute with some people. We want to give a shout out to Grand Nagus. He can't be with us due to sound problems. His sound card died or something.
The evil powers at Microsoft put out their patches on Fridays for a good reason. They have the whole weekend to work out the problems.
Right.
Unfortunately, sometimes those of us that are Friday night gamers, Saturday night gamers, and Sunday afternoon gamers are stuck looking for the solutions.
Right.
I don't think it's Microsoft's fault in a sense. Is they're trying to minimize the cost of things going wrong. And
right. And
just before the show, I had to install the same patch to make sure that my network security is up to date. So
right. And computers are complicated. There's a lot going on. So shout out to Grand Nagus. We know he will be with us next week, but in the meantime, we will miss him this week, and we thank him for all the hard work he does for Control Alt WoW.
Yeah, he sent in a bunch of show notes.
And the WoW community in general. Yes, he did. He did send us a bunch of show notes. He even sent us the title. And we will be talking about, first of all, let's go ahead. Let's go straight into, the title, which is No BlizzCon 2020. And we got a blue post, which we know is straight from the powers that be at Blizzard. And it says, "Hello, Blizzard community. Several weeks ago, I shared an update about our uncertainty around holding BlizzCon this year Since then, a lot has changed, and a lot also hasn't changed. During this time, we've had many discussions about what holding a convention could look like in the light of the health and safety considerations we'd have to make. We've also talked about different paths we could take and how each one could be completed by fluctuations in national and local health guidelines in the months ahead. Ultimately, after considering our options, we have come to the very difficult decision to not have BlizzCon this year. We're very deeply disappointed about this decision, and imagine many of you will feel the same. I truly love BlizzCon, and I know that's a sentiment shared by everyone at Blizzard. We will sorely miss connecting with so many of you at the convention and recharging our geek batteries this fall. But we will meet again. We're talking about how we might be able to channel the BlizzCon spirit and connect with you in some way online, far less impacted by the state of health and safety protocols for mass in-person gatherings. We'd want to do this as soon as we could, but given that this is newish territory and the different factors involved, it will most likely be sometime early next year. BlizzCon is also a stage for big esport events in the Blizzard games each year, so we're also looking into alternatives for supporting some of the high-level competitions that would normally take place at this show. We'll tell you more about our plans as they develop, but in the meantime, we hope to see you exploring the Shadowlands, hanging out in the tavern, pushing the payload. Do it! And wherever else in the Blizzard universe you may roam. Stay safe and stay well. Sarlin Smith, Whirlwind Barbarian, executive producer of BlizzCon. So that's the official BlizzCon message. You know, I know this isn't what most of us wanted to hear, but with the situation as it is, it's understandable. You know, this is probably better. I mean, how many of us have heard of the con flu?
Con crud.
Con crud, yeah. We don't want to add the coronavirus to that.
Nope.
We appreciate Blizzard for letting us know this far in advance, because there were many of us that were still on the edge, wondering what was going to happen, you know. And, yeah, it's sad. Because I know you and I were planning to attend this year.
It'll be for another time, but I'm sure
right.
we'll make our way down there at some point.
At some point, right. And it's better that we are safe.
Exactly.
And thanks, Grand Nagus, for adding those show notes. What else is going on? We got Time Walking ending on Tuesday. We got PvP War Song Scramble ends on Tuesday. Beginning Tuesday, we got a Battleground bonus event. And we also have a one of the special events.
1,000 Boats Bash. I don't know. That's like Saturday. And then Dark Moon Fair, of course, on Sunday.
Well, the battle. Well, we're growing right into June. This is like crazy how
we're charging right into June. I'm hoping to go back to work at some point on.
So on Saturday, starting at 12:01 a.m., is the 1,000 Boat Battle Bash.
Yeah.
Which is the citizens of Azeroth need a break. Let's go boating in Thousand Needles. So, you know, it's kind of nostalgic for me because, you know, back in my day,
it used to be the races on the desert strips there.
Right. There were races and it was all desert, but now it's water and there will be boat racing, go boating. and this will end on Monday. So this starts Sunday morning at 12:01 and ends Monday night at 11:59. And then Dark Moon Fair will start next Sunday at 12:01 a.m.
Right.
So that'll be nice. Dark Moon Fair is always nice. And we still got our Winds of Wisdom experience gain increased by 100%. And the Battleground...
Are people selling ahead of the curve on your server, Aprillian?
I'm sorry?
You play on? Are people selling ahead of the curve in trade chat on your server where you play?
I don't... Listen...
On Thorium Brotherhood, where I am, they're selling it for 250K, and you get the mount and everything, and all you have to do is jump into fire. But it's like, 250K is a lot of gold. That's like 2 tokens.
It is. It is.
So that's like $40 if you want to spend money to get that.
Right.
And they're selling it all day long, every day, because ahead of the curve eventually ends, and then they don't make money that way anymore after that.
Mm. And I think that's all we got for this week so far. Am I right?
I think so. I don't see any other events on the calendar.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get started. How's the chat room doing?
We've got Duvise in there. We've got JC Gamer. I think that's Kyle. I may be wrong. We've got another viewer, and we have Shrivi. Hi, guys.
Shrivi. How are you spelling that?
SRIZDI.
Oh, okay. Hi. All right. Well, oh, shoot. What did I do? I did something bad. Okay.
What happened?
No, nothing. All right, let's get started.
I've had a fantastic weekend. Wow. It's very comforting. Those battlegrounds where you're not necessarily putting out more damage, but you feel like you're contributing more by pushing all the buttons all at once. Bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Construct, how's your weekend WoW going?
My weekend WoW has been really good. I have decided to visit the Lich King almost every couple of days. Because I thought, maybe he'll give me his mount. And then for a special project, I have these tokens that keep dropping, the shoulder and chest and glove tokens. So I thought, I'll try and get the shoulders, as many shoulders as I can. And when you get the shoulder, if you can equip the appearance, then you don't have to wait 2 hours to vendor them. Because if you vendor them, you don't get the appearance, you get a refund, as Grand Nagus was explaining so diligently another time. And if you put them in void storage, it costs you 10 gold to get like the instantaneous process. So, and that'll give you the appearance right away. So I'm humming and hawing about the best way to do it. And what I've done is on some of my characters that I don't play as much on my other accounts, if it's a male or a leather token, I just let the timer expire. So you can imagine there's 4 sets of shoulders, and sometimes if you have a spec like Druid, there's 16 shoulders you can get. So when you buy off the vendor, then you upgrade. So that's 2 different timers. Then you buy another shoulder. Then you upgrade that. Well, that's another set of shoulders. That if you have enough tokens on the run of the Lich King to buy every single set of shoulders, you're ahead of the game. So that what I do is I multi-box the runs with different armor classes, and then I trade the mage token to the mage. I trade the hunter token to the hunter, and I trade the paladin token to the paladin, and then the rogue token is different. So like there's 4 different specific classes of tokens that sometimes work between each of them, and sometimes they don't. So what I did is on one of my runs, I got to the Blood Queen, and a token dropped for a shoulder that was a wrong armor type for me to wear. So I couldn't learn it. But they were leather shoulders, and they never, in all the hundreds of times that I've done it on my rogue, they've never dropped. How can these shoulders be here? I've never learned it. That's not possible. So I looked at them, and they're intellect shoulders. They're never going to drop from my rogue because they're not on the drop table when he does it. So I'm like, oh my God, I actually have to send my druid in there for a chance of it to drop. So I went in the next run with my hunter, the Prishna, and my druid Lifebinder. And fortunately, they dropped, I think, on the hunter so he could trade them to the druid so I could learn them. It's like, I've done it hundreds of times and they never dropped on my rogue. So I'm like, it's really bad luck. Like I could appreciate I'm learning lots of appearances, but there are so many more appearances that can drop than what I actually have. Sometimes an appearance will drop and it'll say, you do not yet know this appearance. And when you trade it to the character, it'll say, you've learned this appearance, but not from this item. So it's a variation of those shoulders that you've learned on another class for the same model of shoulder, but you just don't happen to have intellect or crit or haste, or one of the stats is different. So you've known that appearance, but you don't have that particular shoulder or whatnot to complement the set. So I'm like, I have to learn it now. And I'm looking forward to not being able to learn the shoulders. You just vendor the tokens directly. But as I do it with more and more classes, I'm like, my goodness, like I'm gonna be here for weeks yet. So I'm doing that, and on top of that, I'm also doing a couple of trips to do the incursions, and my rogue has earned enough 7th Legion service medals to buy one of the mounts. There's 3 mounts you can buy in the Alliance side. There's the Night Stalker Priestly mount, basically Tehran's mount. So I bought that for like 700 medals. Then there's the 350 medal thing, which is another tiger or something. And then there's a 200 mount Krolisk. The Krolisk is really the cheapest mount you can buy from that vendor. So I bought that yesterday, and it looks pretty good. It's basically one of those sand creatures that has the 2 long tails that wiggles on 6 legs. It basically looks like a scorpion without the back scorpion part. Basically, it's got 2 tails that drag on the ground. So I bought that, and it's a blue Krolisk mount, and it looks pretty good. And I rode that around Borealis Harbor, and that was quite good. Apparently, the rich keep on getting richer on YouTube. I see daily videos of people trying to explain to you how to get the long boy with Transmog, and I'm like, I don't hardly sell anything on Transmog. I've never been really, really good at cornering the market for certain appearances like loincloths or anything like that. I just basically put up the random greens that I get. If you sell, they sell. If you don't sell,
right.
Oh well, they go back on the auction house, right?
Right.
And I don't know if it's a good-looking transmog, a bad-looking transmog. It's like, if I've learned the appearance, I've put it on the auction house. If I haven't learned it, I learn it in case that maybe the females look good on it, and I just don't happen to know. But I don't necessarily check out every single transmog that I learn. One guy listed a transmog for a sword, which is basically a scimitar. He said, I want 1.3 million for this. I looked at the sword, and it really doesn't look good. Why do you want 1.3 million for this sword? Because it's rare.
Right.
But is it worth 1.3 million? Like, if it was a cool looking, badass demon scalping sword, I could see, like, you really want this thing as you jump into the air to cleave but it just looked like a scimitar from like Sinbad, you know, like back in the old days when they had Sinbad and like bad graphics and bad actors and bad everything. It's like,
right.
That's what it looks like. It's like, why do I want this sword? This is from like 10 years ago, this appearance. Oh, it has a 0.01% chance to draw. So what? It doesn't look like, I understand people gotta have everything, but it's like 1.2 million for that? I don't understand. Like, Transmog has to make sense to me. To me, the need to have every single appearance for every possible permutation of the bad drop rate of everywhere in the game. Like, I understand some people go farming and they explain, oh, you can farm these 3 pets if you do this run, if you farm for 24 hours, if you do hyper spawns. And I don't do hyper spawn. I just basically farm what I need for construction of mounts or whatnot. And if I have enough mounts, like right now I have 18 vials of sands for sale. I don't need any more. Until I sell a couple of those, I don't need any more vials of sands to craft, to list, because right now there's people selling it for half the price of what I'm listing them for. So I got to wait for them to sell their chunk, basically, before I can list more. Occasionally, you know, like 3 weeks ago, I sold three mounts in one day. I was like, yay! You know, that's like one day out of the month. And one thing that I hear a lot when I go into dungeons is, this is my first time doing this. This is all new to me. So obviously, World of Warcraft is picking up more players, or is picking up players who are doing things they've never tried before. They're tanking, or they're healing, or whatnot. And I went into some dungeons, like where Skyreach, where we died over and over and over and over again. And I'm marking targets, and people are ignoring. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna try and do my little thing. And one of the cool things is I'm topping the meter. Okay, I must be doing something right if I'm topping the meter. I must have all the enchants, or doing my roll properly, or my roll the bones procs to the right attack or whatnot. And it is like, it's going well for me because I can vanish at some point during the fight if it goes south where everyone dies, and if I can tip the scale where I save the healer. Well, the healer keeps everybody up. So, you know, like I try to watch what's going on in the fight and be helpful to my teammates, because I don't want to repeat the same content over and over without succeeding. I had a repair build the other day, you know, a couple hundred gold, and like Brilliant said, the paper doll came out.
Right, that's really scary when that comes out.
I haven't seen the paper doll for a while, so I have this hammer in my bag that repairs one piece of gear. So the first thing I repaired is one of my weapons, because if you don't have a weapon, you're not going to progress very far. And we got to the final boss, and somebody asked, what do we do? And I go, well, first of all, you have to attack the mob that's going to carry one of the allies off the platform so the allies don't die. And then you have to interrupt the guy who puts a shield on the boss, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. So everybody listened to what I was saying, and we got it down. You know, there's a couple people said thank you at the end, and I got my 5-time walking badges. You can laugh. I got 5-time walking badges for that. But there's actually 2 mounts for the Warlords of Draenor. So that's 10,000 time walking badges. So you have to run it a lot. So I'm doing the thing where I run for the 5 dungeons to have more drops. And I've actually upped my gear on some slots to 445. So a whole bunch of my gear is 445. By some happenstance, I thought I would do, I would upgrade my cloak. So that means I had to go into one of the horrific divisions of N'Zoth. So I know where the N'Zoth thing is in the heart of the chamber. You click on the thing, you go and meet Wrathion. Wrathion says, are you sure you're ready? And you click on the thing again. He goes, okay, I'll send you there. And the first thing I did is I went straight to the finish. I didn't waste time exploring. I just straight to Illyria, and I had to use my orb to refresh my sanity twice to get there. So I'm not even in a group. I'm just doing it by myself, and I just want the thing to upgrade your cloak. So I got to the end. I downed Illyria. I still had, like 40% sanity, which is good.
Right.
But I would have run out of sanity without the orbs. So you have to do it to the point where the cloak grants you the orbs to restore your sanity. And then once you start attacking, it says you're desynchronized, which means you're no longer getting the buff from the orb. So, but I used 2 of my orbs, and then I finished with 40%. So if you're in a big group and you don't mind doing exploration and healing each other with the orbs, great. But if you're solo, don't waste too much time killing stuff, because as a rogue, I just go around targets and I don't kill everything. I skip some targets so I can get quicker to the end. And quicker to the end means you have a little bit more margin for error. If the boss does a really bad AoE and you have to run away, eat, or like heal yourself,
right,
you have time. And my cloak went up with my upgrade by 2 eye levels. So that means with 15 upgrades, you upgrade your cloak to 470 plus 30 would be 500. So your highest eye level you can get with the cloak is 500. That's before the new expansion drops. And the first couple of weeks you can do it multiple times to do like a little bit of catch up. But honestly, once you do it once, you kind of washed. You burned out. I suggest taking a day off or 2, because I wanted to do LFR. I thought I'm just going to drag everybody down by having the eye pop up all the time and wipe their group, and they're like, you know what, I'm going to go see Mother and see if I could just purify one of my items, and that way it doesn't do all the eye corruption all the time. So I went to see her, and I said, I don't really like these bracers, or get a little bit too much corruption on them. So she goes, okay, well, just take the corruption out, and now my corruption is down to 8, and the eye doesn't pop up anymore. Because when I was fighting the Lich King, I was losing 13% health against the Lich King. The Lich King is not supposed to be able to kick my rogue butt. He's supposed to be taking it like a champ and, leaving me full health. But the eye keeps on popping up so much that at some point it becomes detrimental to your gameplay. So cleansing an item from corruption only costs you 5 echoes. So I spent the 5 echoes, and now I don't have the corruption eye. It tells you the degrees. You have the tendrils, you have the eye, and then you have the grand delusion, which is worse.
Right.
But there's sometimes I fight with some people, and it's like, it's all you can see is like corruption. It's like, if you have 60 or higher corruption, you spend your time fighting N'Zoth. You're not fighting the boss. You spend your time being corrupted, right? So it's like, too much corruption is not a good thing. They may think they're more powerful, but it's like when the group wipes 10 times, you got too much corruption. Just go see Mother and ask her to clean 1 or 2 items. Give yourself a fighting chance. Like, you may have just the most awesome high level gear, but if it's all corrupted gear, you're probably not going to have as much fun as if you had a little bit less corruption at a higher level.
Right.
So that's what I did, and I cleansed my bracers, and now everything is fine. Everything gels. My eye level's 444, I think. Not quite 445. I'm hoping it triggers so I get higher drops, because my all my Azurite armor is eye level 450. So I'm just trying very gently to pick it over so that I get more raid gear. I haven't gone to do the second part of Mechagon. I really want to do it, but I'm a little scared to go in there because I don't want to wipe the group, because I haven't done it. Maybe I'll have to watch a YouTube video to make it better. And that's pretty much been my week, but it's been very, very smooth going. I've done the Honey Smasher every day. I'm getting my bee rep. So hopefully I'll have a bee mount at some point. It's alliance only, though. Oh, well.
Right. Sounds like a good week.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, excellent. Oh, how you doing? I get excited, I get giddy and love making mini alts. My dog is trying to poop for the Horde and for the Alliance. It was funny in my head.
Brilliant. Tell us, how was your week in WoW?
Well, I've had a weird week because, I'm stuck. Prillian can't go any further because she's bugged. And I opened a ticket, but I didn't get a response. And I don't even see the ticket opening, so I think I'm going to have to open another ticket. When she clicks on Thalassa, the chicken Shalaron, it says, you cannot do this. The world quest the other day was the Withering. I couldn't do that. It's really weird when I see the question mark to turn in the quest that, we did last week. It's in the middle, but she's up top. I finally thought, okay, maybe it's my add-ons. Turned off all add-ons. Still the same issue. So I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens. So, Thalissa. I have the quest, Court of Stars, Beware the Fury of the Patient Elf. I click on it to turn it in. You can't do that right now. I have no idea. So, I'm stuck on that. In the meantime, I
found out why I was dying when I helped you last week with that.
Why?
I was wearing the pants from the tuxedo
you're
pants
kidding.
From the, collecting eggs event, yeah.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, no.
So I was wearing paper pants. Probably not a good idea.
No. But I appreciate all you did, and I'm hoping eventually it'll become unbugged, because that's the next step, right? For me to do the other stuff, so I can get
after that, it should ask you to do 10 world quests in...
and I can't even do any work. I mean, I was trying to do the Withering one, and it said, I can't do that. So, keep our fingers crossed. In the meantime, I've been looking at my other alt, because, that's what our show is all about, Altaholic.
Yeah.
The April is a monk, and I realized that she didn't have... heirloom gear available. So what I had to do is figure out what the monk could wear, and then I had to go log off and log on into April and buy. So right now I have April in Undercity at the vendor to buy the upgrades.
Right.
In the rogue quarters. And it's kind of funny because, of course, April's a death knight. So she's got to figure out what is it that April needs. I mean, is it that April? The April needs. And so we've been going back and forth with that. I want her to actually get all the heirloom gear she needs by Dark Moon Fair, because
it's good if you have them side by side sometimes, because you can...
They're on the same account. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they can't be side by side. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like, go in, figure out what she needs, then do that, and then go back out again. And I just realized that one of her outfits that she was wearing was to level 100, and she's level 110. So I have to go into the heirloom thing, figure out what a monk needs. And thankfully the drop boxes help a lot, but it's still, a long, like her current leather things. But then her monk must have Who else uses leather? The rogue must have a leather helm. Nope, I didn't have.
Use leather as well.
Right, but I didn't have a leather helm over 100, so now I have to go in and figure that out. But I'm doing. You have to buy
the 2 upgrades to bring it to level 110 and to level 120.
120, right, because it doesn't make sense to just bring it to 110. Although, this is a lot easier than it used to be when, we had to... Remember we had to pass around?
Had to mail all the heirlooms back and forth and try not to lose them in the mail. But
the most important thing I want to talk about right now is the wonderful and awesome Duvasay. She mailed me so many pets. And as I was learning the pets, and for the record, I did pass them, because, I have my 2 main... I'm used to multi-boxing, and I do have 5 accounts, but I'm only running 2 right now, which is April and her account, and Aprillian and her account. And I passed the 2, the pets she sent me between the 2. She sent me so many for my birthday. Duvasay, mwah, mwah. And it's just amazing. And I looked at them, and they're all 25, level 25. I mean, I just cannot imagine sending somebody level 25s like that. And I just feel like the best, luckiest person in the whole world. So thank you, Duvasay. And what else have I been doing? Running around with April. And hopefully I'll figure out how to get unbugged real soon. And that's been my week. I'm currently in Undercity, yeah, doing my bit. I did take. Oh, and the other thing was I did take the April. She's a leather worker, so I took her back to the garrison. And she had almost 5,000 garrison resources, which is the max. So she went and brought some burnished leather because she is a leather worker, and it's still kind of confusing because she's level 1 for some things, and she's still be able to do the Draenor leather working stuff. So she's doing that. And that's been my week. I'm looking forward to Darkmoon Fair. I'm going to go take the boat rides because I just think that's so awesome. And I'm going to work on trying to figure out this bug. If anybody has any ideas on, what this bug is and what I can do, let me know. And I just want to say what's really neat is that I updated the leather hat for the monk, and the April is wearing it, and all of a sudden it's just updated. So now she's just got to go through the rest of the stuff. She's got the pants, and she's got to figure out what else. She got the cloak. How come she doesn't have the back piece? She needs the shoulders. Is there shoulders in the heirloom? Yes. Yeah, of course there is. Oh, but they're not shoulders, breastplate, but they're not updated. So now I'm going back and forth. But she's gonna do it, and I'm looking forward to challenging my monk. She did the now she's got to go and open that cache, the 500 cache, because she was so full. There's nothing worse than opening your cache and finding out that you already have too many garrison resources that you can't take on anymore. And that's been my week.
Our player housing, how attached we are to that. I wonder if we'll get something in Shadowlands that's something like that.
It's possible for a plane. It's possible. We'll never know. We'll know soon. All right, and now I'm going to go back to April, and we're going to upgrade her shoulders. And that's been my week.
Awesome. Good week.
Yes.
guess it's time for email now.
Emails, folks?
Email, email,
La data. You've got mail. Who's next? I'm addicted to you, baby.
Lovely little email.
Our email is from Kyle. Shout out to Kyle. We adore Kyle so much. Hello, everyone. My characters, Abattoir and Rich Mom, are mostly caught up on content now and half-heartedly working on gear. For some reason, Rich Mom keeps getting corrupted gear and Abattoir does not. I learned the hard way not to go overboard on corruption, just like you were saying. Today's Blast from the Past is brought to you by episode 412. Hope you are all safe and sound wherever you are. Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. And believe me, we understand your sentiment so much. All right, so let's listen to Kyle's Blast from the Past. Today is Friday, March 13th, 2015, and this is episode 412 entitled Something Just Licked My Hand. I'm Aprillian, your host, and with me are my three awesome co-hosts, and it was neither one of them. Hi, Lita.
How do you know?
Well, because you're an Australian. Hey, question. What is Australian soap operas? Is that a big thing over there, or was it a big thing?
Yeah,
do y'all do that? Soap operas?
Yeah. So we've got Neighbours has just celebrated their 25th year, I think, this year. And Neighbours is really huge in the UK, and I think Home and Away is another one that's pretty big. I haven't watched a lot of that stuff for a long time, so I'm not sure.
I was watching Murder, She Wrote, which is one of my favorite shows. Anybody that follows me on Facebook knows that. Jessica is so fascinating. She's visiting Ireland, and they make a crack at Australia. They say, we sent them their penal colony. We sent them, prisoners, and they sent us Australian soap operas. I was like, wow, that's a weird snub, So, anyways, I just was curious. And Rogue Slayer, do you watch any soap operas?
I do not, but I was quite into them in my younger days.
What did you watch?
Oh, All My Children. Well, sometimes Ryan's Hope, but then All My Children went to the General Hospital.
Ryan's Hope? Oh my gosh, that's where Kate Mulgrew started.
Mulgrew, yes.
Yes. Oh, she was beautiful back then. She was Ryan. What was
that long hair?
Oh, she was awesome. There was a lot of
Maeve. No, was she Maeve? Or was Maeve the mother?
No, Maeve was the mother. Was she Siobhan? Siobhan, yes. Yeah. Sorry. And All My Children, I absolutely love. I cried when it got canceled. I refused to watch The Talk because they covered that spot. And I followed them on when they went to cable, and it was still pretty good. But anyways. Well, maybe I should start watching Australian.
In fact, the theme of my senior prom was "We've Got Tonight." That song, that Bob Seger song.
Right.
But the little glasses that everybody got, like a drinking glass. Mm-hmm. It had a little line drawing of Luke and Laura gazing into each other's eyes.
Okay, that was General Hospital, but you're forgiven.
Yes, but I gave that my rundown.
Okay.
Hospital for a man.
But that was horrible. That whole storyline was awful. He raped
I know.
her.
We're just all supposed to ignore that. Yeah.
And then she fell in love with him. And
we did my senior year variety show. We did a spoof of General Hospital. I wrote it, and when we had this one girl come on, and she had a nurse's uniform and a big giant cross, and she goes, what was that? The one's name, Maggie something, I think. Hi, I'm Maggie so and so, and I'm 28 years old, and I'm still a virgin.
Oh, well, my favorite storyline will always be Bianca and Babe and the baby switch. And that was so
Yeah, see, that was
good.
well beyond after I wasn't watching it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And of
so
course, I heard of these things.
You're back in the Kelly Kitty days?
You could, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was...
It was an Opal?
An Opal, right?
Yep.
And when Jesse and Angie first fell in love. And, and Greg...
oh my gosh.
Greg and
Jenny.
Jenny, yes.
Yes. And oh my God, the boat.
The boat. I know. How horrible.
Silence says that he's into Rogue Slayer's Iron soap opera.
That is a soap opera. Yeah.
And Grand Nagus says he uploaded a segment to Dropbox.
Okay, thank you.
Anyways, so these are the days of Control Alt WoW.
And Tidra, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? We have a nice chat room tonight. We've got Asylum, Grand Nagus, Fallen Angels, and Soser with us.
Hey guys and girls.
And my other biggest thing is I have had to put World of Warcraft on an external hard drive. I have a MacBook Air with like 150 gigs of RAM. And, World of Warcraft is like 32 gigs. It's crazy. I don't understand why it has to be so big. And it's just too big for my my hard drive. So I had to put it on an external one. So far, it's working fine. I got one that was a USB 3.0, so I guess it goes kind of fast. The biggest problem is, though, at any time, if it accidentally comes unplugged, the game just crashes.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to restart everything, including BattleNet, because if it unplugs, then BattleNet changes from play to install. So just wondering if anybody else is having that problem and how they solved it. I got a My Passport WD external drive.
Okay.
I was using a thumb drive, and that was working okay, but then it got caught, and it broke. I mean, it got bent, because, it's sticking out the side. And this is on a cable, and it's in a separate little box, so it works a little bit better.
She went into Felwood, and she got the perfect quest for My Little Compassionate Toon. She had to do the squirrel scrubbing. There's this quest of these little squirrels, and they have some demonic taint to them, and you have to go scrub them with the dowsing agent. And when you click on the squirrel, she actually picks it up and rubs her little hands over it, and then the squirrel gets a heart over his head and jumps off the blaze. I wanted to do more of that, but after the question, I couldn't do any more. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And she went over and she does all the exploring things, because you get a little bit of XP for that too. So she did explore Winter Spring. But I tell you, the Hidden Grove was a real pain for her to find. She had to keep dodging creatures who wanted to attack her, and she'd go up this hill. But she finally did. And then finally I got up to 52. And that's when I finally remembered, oh my God, she can be digging and getting XP.
Oh, how could you forget digging?
So she switched over to digging, and she got, I had it in my hand. She found a rare. Nice. And I'm making sure to hold on at least 15 fossils in her bag at all times, so that when the Darkmoon Fair comes around again, she'll even do that quest. And so I figure I'll have her just do archaeology until she gets up to where she can go to Blasted Lands, because then she can look for what quests she can do there. So anyway, she's up to 52. My little compassionate, and then Ironbreaker, my human hunter. She started when last we left. Ironbreaker was at level 45. She's been working Feralist. She's been going through these Feralist quests. Hasn't really hit me yet that I wanted to go, I don't think I want to do that, But so she got the Explore Feralist, and she got the Feralist Quests achievement. But I found out I figured out it's really hard for me to switch back and forth between my Compassionate Toon and an Iron Man toon, because they are like opposites. You know, my compassion tune is all about professions and, you know, not taking this quest, not taking that quest. And my Iron Man is like no professions. And the compassion tune can die as many times as she wants. Right. And the Iron Man can kill as much as she wants, you know? Yeah. And I find that when I switch back to my Iron Man, I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to take that quest. No, you can take that quest. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Right.
It's like,
So I've also been told that we need to redo the recommended thing because bitter and salty. Is that the one that left? There's something in the closing thing about podcasts that we recommend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you want to do a new one of those? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, we can do that.
All right. So what podcasts do you guys listen to?
All of them.
Okay, there we go.
I listen to WoW Geekly and Bind on Equip and Realm Maintenance. Of course.
Realm Maintenance, yeah.
And I've been really bad on listening to podcasts lately.
I have too.
There's what's the one that Megan does? It's WoW Trolls. Is that
Warcraft Trolls?
Warcraft Trolls. I did like that.
Warcraft Trolls, yeah.
Yeah, Warcraft Trolls is awesome. I used to listen to the pet ones. When I first started playing, I used to listen to the Starting Zone, which is really, really great for new players.
What's Jumpet's podcast of the week? I'm sorry, Jumpet. I love you.
I just started listening to a new one. Let me see if I can find it.
She's away.
Oh, she is still away.
For people that do alts.
Yeah,
we can't do it.
She's still away. But she does all pets allowed.
Right.
The ones I listen, like Cops Run Radio, you know, that's Juno. So of course, listen to that. Convert to Raid, Torrent Think Tank, Girls Gone WoW, Darkmoon Herald.
Yeah, Girls Gone WoW.
Oh, there's a new one that I was talking to Terwinkle on mine behind the avatar. He's from Looking for Roleplay. Oh, he is so interesting. I'm really getting into that. I'm not a role player myself, but it has some really interesting things. So that one's Looking for Roleplay. That one's those guys are pretty cool.
I'm trying out a new one called WoW Alt Podcast. It's only on episode 16.
That sounds suspiciously like another podcast.
Well, it seems like maybe that might be one that our audience might enjoy as well.
Yeah, it's the competition.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it's just Taro does a single.
Well, if you're an alt in game, you should be an alt in your podcast as well. So it should be fine.
I just remembered that I had my iPhone sitting right next to me so I can look up and see what podcast.
That's what I just did.
But I think we've pretty much covered the ones that are WoW related on here. That Battle Pets with Eludra and Keithis is the Battle Pets one that I used to listen to.
Oh, no, that's Ben and Eludra now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we mention
as you can tell, it's been a while since I listened to podcasts.
Oh, that was so great. There was so many good podcasts. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking to myself the other day that we don't have an outro anymore. I used to have one that said all these different things. And maybe we should work on one day maybe making a new one. I, for one, want to just promote one of my favorite podcasts, which is WoW Challenges. Yes. Because not only is that a good podcast, but their website reinactivated a lot of people's interest in WoW because it gave us challenges. I see you're wearing your World of Warcraft. Let's see your T-shirt again because that is just so cool. Social distancing since 2004.
Social distance training.
Since 2004. And that's from Grand Nagus.
Grand Nagus,
Yeah, he didn't send me one. Nothing.
Really, really appropriate and timely T-shirt in this time of. And I remember listening to the outros for Control Out WoW long time, and I was like, so like I wouldn't just end the episode early. I would listen to the outro every single time because I was like, oh yeah, there's Lita, and then they're going to talk about this podcast and this other podcast. And then you mentioned the Bitter and Salty. And I would also listen to Bitter and Salty before they went on.
Before they went on.
Like, oh my goodness, so appropriate.
Yes, it was very entertaining and very, very, very good. So, thank you, Kyle. You're wonderful. And shout out to Lita and her podcast and Tidra and everybody else. Rogue Slayer, yay, wherever you are. And the one thing I want to say as a shout out is that World of Warcraft is such an integrated and combined group. You know, I've met all kinds here. I do remember one time when the Valentines, Cowboy, and what was her name? What was his wife's name in the group?
I don't know. I've never heard the Valentines while
okay.
I was on.
All right. Well,
before my time.
We were running. Oh gosh, what's the one where you go back in time with Chromie? I can't think of it, but we were running one instance and we ran into some very racially negative people and we rose above it. And that's the only time I've ever had any problems in World of Warcraft. There are all sorts of people in World of Warcraft and our characters are all shades. And that's a good thing. All right. Well, now's the time I get to play this.
We're clan of darkness here together. What's in an egg that we can't weather? Apocalypse. We've all been there. The same old boss. Why should we care? We're clan of darkness here together. What's in an egg that we can't weather? There's nothing that we can't face.
Except for money. Contracts. How are the clans of darknesses and Control Alt WoW and Worm Rest Accord and Earthen Ring doing? I think I said that.
It's another leveling apocalypse on Earthen Ring and on not Worm Rest Accord. Nevercoof. At level 10, we have Fit Clash. We have also Matarita. At level 20, we have Fit Clash. There must be like another WoW challenge going on.
Right.
Matarita. At level 30, we also have Fit Clash. So congratulations leveling Iron Man past level 10.
Right.
Matarosa and Local Luzul. At level 40, we have Fit Clash. At level 50, we have Matarosa, Fit Clash. At level 60, we have Lithuese. At level 70, we have Matarosa.
Woo.
At level 80, we have Matarosa. So he's leveling two different characters at the same time.
Wow.
At level 85, we have Karilla. I think that's a Drena, not a Draenei, Volpira Priest. At level 90, we have Karilla. And at level 120, for the first time ever, Grand Nagus has hit max level with a mage. Congratulations, Grand Nagus.
Congratulations,
well
Grand Nagus.
Highest mage ever, you say.
Awesome. So hopefully next Sunday, we'll be doing our next episode, and hopefully Grand Nagus will be with us. I hate to jinx it, but we're hoping for a visit from Jeppy. Keep our fingers crossed. Send your positive energy out.
Positive energies, yeah.
Yeah, and send your positive energy out to the world.
Exactly. Make love, not war. Craft.
Yes. I'm Aprillian for everybody.
I'm Constrax. Come on, get your PvP on in the game. Take out your frustrations on pixels, not people.
All right. Bye, Grand Nagus. Hope you're listening.
Bye, Grand Nagus. Come visit us.
Yeah. Bye, Duvasay. Bye, chat room. Mwah. To everybody.
Bye, chat room. We love you.